Yes, I'm here with my Payback reaction, and I'm pissed. Yes, I did that during the show. I punched my floor at one point, so yeah, not very pleased with a lot of things. Show started off great. I didn't watch the pre-show. So it started off with Jericho winning the U.S. title, which means now we get AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho for the U.S. title. I think that makes for a great match. And it also gives us that if AJ wins the U.S. title from Jericho, it gives us the option for a third match between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, which, when I was doing my predictions on the video over at JD Films 269, that was what I called. I called for a third match between the two. Something definitive that will end the feud. Not for a title. Have AJ take the title from Jericho. Have Jericho and Owens just beat the out of each other. And KO win and get that push. My next note. The ending of the match sucked because I was rooting for Austin Aries. But Neville is making for a great heel. And now it's not just how he talks. He actually went that extra step in going, you know what? I'm not going to bother to win this match. He got himself disqualified to keep his title, which is, I saw it coming when I saw the way they were positioned, and the first time he grabbed for the ref, I was like, that dude better back up. He didn't. I was like, damn. I was hoping for Austin. Austin, technically, I got a point. We all got a point for that one because Austin won the match. He's not champion, but Neville is making for a great fucking heel as the Cruiserweight champion. I looked up, it was about that time that I looked up the results for the pre-show. Enzo and Cass won over the Bullet Club. Why? And I know, as soon as I looked that up and I saw that, I was like, oh, great. I had a feeling that Sheamus and Cesaro were going to have that heel turn, stop showing the respect, and just beat the out of the Hardys. I'd been thinking that since 2 weeks ago when they all started shaking hands. It was like, no, Sheamus and Cesaro are not going to be like this if they lose the titles. I was right. I'm not pleased about that because I'm a fan of the club. And with the Hardys showing back up and having the titles, they've added a higher level to the tag team division. The club needed to win this match to get pushed up to that next level where you're competing in the division now. They need more tag teams. That's part of the problem. My other problem is now that Sheamus and Cesaro have made the heel turn, we have them feuding with the Hardys. Not a problem at all. I'm fine with watching those four guys go. The issue this causes for me is now we're still stuck, and I'm sick of watching them, but we're stuck with Enzo and Cass versus the club unless some new team arrives. At least one new team is formed, arrives. I don't care how it happens. Bring somebody else in, because I swear to God, I'll punch my floor every show that I have to watch Enzo and Cass fight the club. The next one is just an amusing note that I made. I found out that the WWE bought the broken gimmick for Matt Hardy. I'm pretty sure what they paid for it doubled the amount of money that TNA had in their bank account. So, yeah, my next note was calling the Sheamus Cesaro heel flip. I saw that coming. I'm pretty sure you guys suspected it too. And here's where things began to piss me off. It wasn't watching Sheamus and Cesaro turn. It was after that. After that, they introduced the Raw Women's title match. I thought that was supposed to be the main event. I was okay with the pay-per-view. I was excited about a pay-per-view having the Women's Championship as the main event. Especially one that didn't have any other major... The tag team titles were defended. The U.S. title was defended. Brock Lesnar is fucking absent. And Randy's title wasn't on the line. Which, when I did my predictions video, for some reason I was confused and I thought that it was on the line. And then, yeah, when I remembered that it wasn't, I was like, okay, so Bray Wyatt wins. But if anybody can make it through the House of Horrors and still beat Bray Wyatt, it's Randy Orton. When we get to that part, I'll share the rest of how I felt about that. Another thing I should have realized, that Alexa Bliss was going to win. She's already had the SmackDown Women's title. Nobody has held both yet because the split was so recent. So Alexa Bliss winning both, that kind of thing happens for heels more often than it does for faces. Because heels will go on and on and on and on and on and on forever. And if Chris Jericho ever turns heel again and he's all by himself, he'll talk about how he was the first ever undisputed champion. Because that's how it works. Heels can brag about that stuff forever. So I should have seen that coming. It was a good match. I knew when Bayley first tried for the Bayley to Belly that it wasn't going to work. I was like, nope, if she had tried that like 2 moves sooner, she'd have hit it, match would be over. But I'm from how long she was taking and the not trying to actually finish the match with the Bayley to Belly, I was like, yeah, when she does try for it, it's not going to work out. Another note, as far as the Raw Women's Championship goes, I'm impressed that Alexa Bliss won without anything controversial. Yes, you could say Bayley smacked her face off the pole. So, Bayley was the one who put herself in the situation where she was facing the pole. And Alexa taking advantage of that isn't a heel thing. It's not cheating. It's not unfair. She didn't use the ropes. She just hit the DDT and pinned Bayley. Clean win. Which I liked. And this is where the House of Horrors match started. So I knew that Roman and Braun were the main event. And I went, why? As far as the emotional involvement of this match, Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins have even more emotional issues and animosity toward one another. So, I'm not sure, except for the ending of Roman being in the back and Braun charging the ambulance, which could have happened any other time in the show anyway. So, I'm unsure of why Roman versus Braun was the main event. That bothers me. And I can't even really explain why, except for the fact that I was hoping for the women's title to be it, but Roman and Braun got it instead. The House of Horrors match itself the house was creepy as fuck. I personally was hoping for some more exploration. I was hoping that Randy would wind up upstairs at some point and one of them would get thrown down the stairs. Yes, I enjoy violence. It didn't happen, but it was still entertaining as hell to watch. At the point where Bray got into the limousine, I was speculating, Brittany and I were both speculating that maybe Randy was the one driving. And that when they got back into the arena, it would start right away. Randy turns around and attacks Bray in the backseat of the limo. Didn't happen, but then we moved on to Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. And this was a great match. It was... Joe did everything he could to try to destroy the knee, which is what everybody expected. The only thing that could have made this better was if he'd been standing at the top of the ramp. When he was standing up there, if Seth had yelled, "Surprise, bitch," oh, I'd have lost my mind. It just would have been awesome. Because that ending was literally out of nowhere. I don't think I've ever seen somebody beaten with a fireman's carry into a pin. Schoolboys work, surprise pins like that happen, but this one was just not... I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't see Seth losing. I didn't see him fading, passing out or tapping out, but ending the match out of that move was just beautiful. I loved it. So on to the finale of the House of Horrors match. Again, I picked Randy for this one. It was a feeling I had, and when the lights came on and he was there, if Randy had hit the RKO, it was over. When he didn't, I knew he was losing. But it was still a whole lot of fun to watch, except for the fact that I'm kind of pissed off about this part too. Jinder is now possibly a serious contender, and he's been ignored for how long? He was comedic relief in the three-man band, and then I'm not sure. And I think part of why this bothers me is because nobody saw this coming. Which normally I enjoy when WWE comes up with something that I can't predict. This one kind of feels like they're basically going, here's this guy and now he's a serious competitor. So accept it and accept it and accept it. And just forcing the idea of a serious contender in Jinder Mahal down my throat. I honestly don't like that I'm being forced to admit that Jinder Mahal is possibly a serious contender, given his two little friends. And it's not that I have anything against him. I can think of a whole lot of other people that I think deserve pushes, and they go, okay, we're coming out of left field and here's Jinder Mahal. Just take it. If he wins, I'll probably actually feel better about it. Which, given my distaste for the idea, is probably confusing. The reason I'll probably feel better about it is because if he wins the title, if they give him the title shot, that validates the time that they've put into convincing me that he's a serious contender. But if he doesn't, then they basically went, here's this guy, accept him as a contender, but no, he really wasn't. So at this point, I guess I'm basically hoping that Jinder beats Randy for the title, because otherwise WWE has wasted my time making me watch him, and I don't like having my time wasted. So, as far as the match between Roman and Braun, it pretty much went exactly how everybody expected. Braun dominated despite being hit with all of Roman's best shots. And when Braun hit the first power slam, I actually had to rewind it, because the first time that I saw it, it looked like Roman's arm just kind of flopped. His shoulder did not look like it came off the mat. But I double checked, and it comes up about that far, which is enough. But it was really hard to spot the first time. And I was like, wait a second, this match should be over already. But I was wrong when I rewatched it. And I'm willing to admit that. Now for the end of the night. Certain fans need to shut the fuck up. Roman beat The Undertaker. Boo! It might have been The Undertaker's last match. Boo! Hating him because of that is stupid. You don't hate him because he might have been The Undertaker's last match. Because fans of Shawn Michaels sympathized with him having to end Ric Flair's career. Fans who didn't like him didn't get that pissed off about it. Fans of The Undertaker sympathized with him when he put Shawn Michaels down. Fans who didn't like him did not get that pissed off about it. They did not hope that someone ended their career over this shit. So saying that the reason you want Roman Reigns gone is because he beat The Undertaker is bullshit. You want him gone because you don't like Roman Reigns. You're pissing me off. Shut the fuck up. So that's the end of my video. All in all, it started off great. I was having a good night. And then I'd say probably right around the time that I realized that there was not a championship match for the main event, that's when stuff started to go downhill. It came back up a little when Alexa won clean. I was impressed by that. Because nobody can say she didn't deserve to beat Bayley. Definitely Bayley will get her rematch. We'll get another great match between the two of them. Little things to look forward to. Because the end of my night, more than anything else, the fans chanting that Roman deserved to be broken pissed me off. Once again, if you're of that opinion and you don't like me for having my opinion, share yours, but do it fucking quietly. Because yours is stupid. And there's not a whole lot of times that I say things like that. Normally I'm open to the idea of debate. This I'm not even debating with you idiots. Anybody who thinks that Roman's career deserves to be over because he's Roman Reigns, I already went on another rant about that in an older video. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. And then shut the fuck up. Everybody else, bye guys.